Yeah, Nick and Brad are stopping by from Calling All Captains. Nick, you reached out to me, dude. That's fucking cool, man. Like, I see a lot of conversation with the band in the pop punk networking group a lot too. Like, those kids fucking love you in that group. It's super
I
rad.
think I actually just posted in there like 10 minutes ago, or is that on my list of still things to do?
No shit, really.
Yeah. I don't know. I've got 13 Facebook tabs open for groups to go in and promote the new single. So I'm just like in the middle of doing that. I was like, oh, that's time. It's time. We got a call.
Yep,
So I think I literally, the last thing I did was throw it in that one.
that's cool as fuck
Yeah,
though.
true. True
Yeah,
it
like
is.
that's a good actually group to just collaborate with and people share and stuff. That's where I get most of my bands that I listen to just put on playlists and shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. There's just so many fucking great pop punk artists that need to be discovered. Like, did you ever hear of What Makes Sense?
No. And
They're
that's weird for me to not hear of somebody.
dude, they're pretty good. They just showed me their new single they're gonna be releasing soon, and it definitely sounds like big. But it's it's gonna hopefully it comes out in like August. I don't know. We were kind of talking about it, but I don't know. It's just bands like that that just like make me like want to like do something and talk about it. Cause like, dude, like there's so many bands out there that are not being heard as much, but it's not their fault. It's just you gotta kind of weave your way into discovering them yourself from time to
Yeah.
time. So it's super weird. But yeah, but the new single that just came out, Undone, I mean, that's a fucking banger, man. Like, and it's been a minute since you guys released music, right?
Yeah. I mean, we put a single out, Brad, was it 2 months ago
Yeah.
with Tailspin?
Yeah, with
But
Tailspin.
it had been about what 2 years between releases, minus like an acoustic rendition of a song. But yeah, like we wrote an EP for 2.5 years through a pandemic, got to record the new record and a whole
Right.
bunch of shit. But like we were all just sitting like,
Antsy, right, dude?
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the fucked up part is like that pandemic really put a lot of people back. Um, and you guys are signed to Equal Vision, so like, what did they say? Because I never really asked any guests that with how the labels and the artists correlated this whole situation. So did what came about when the pandemic started and no shows were happening? Like, what was the game plan with your
we
team?
we were like kind of fortunate. So, like I mentioned before, I work for Beartooth.
Right.
So, at the beginning of 2020, I was on tour with them for January to February, and I flew home. And the game plan was at the end of March, we were going to start tracking our new record. So, we were already done the EP cycle and everything else. And then, right as everything was like settling in, we were planning to go to the States and like sit down there for 6 weeks and like write the record and get everything ready to go. And then obviously we couldn't cross the border, being the Canadian band that we are. So we were like, cool, like this is only going to last a couple weeks. We had no idea that we were still going to be in this 16 months later kind of thing.
Right.
So initially the label was like, oh, it's fine. Just push it a couple weeks. It'll be good. And then we hit the point that they're like, yeah, okay, this ain't going anywhere. You guys need to figure out how to do it in Canada.
Damn. That's crazy.
And so we were like super fortunate. Quinn Sarankowitz, who did Nothing Grows Here, is in a band called Royal Tusk. They're a phenomenal rock band.
They
But
rip.
yeah, he's like the studio that he works at is 5 minutes from my house. So we're like, okay, you know what? Quinn crushed the last one. Let's keep the band and team together and do the exact same thing. So we got Quinn doing a bunch of the producing and all that. Ty LG, who is another friend of ours from up here, got involved with some songwriting as well. We went back to Kevin Moore, who, or Soft Surrogate, as a lot of people know him, to do all the artwork. Like we kept the same team together. The label was super for it. Everybody, like we already had a relationship, so we were all just like, this is the move. Like
Yeah.
everything couldn't have worked out better.
No, that's good because I was like kind of terrified for most of my friends who are established and bands that are established like you in this industry who make a living off of this like entirely. So like wear a mask, get fucking, stay inside. Let's get this pandemic done and over with. And now it seems like, tours are coming back in the fall. So that's good. So calling all captains future look for that? Are you guys already trying to get on the road immediately? Like right now? Like
We've got some plans to do maybe like a little string of shows around our album release, but we're trying to pick up an agent and see if we can get on some bigger tours right now. So we're doing some scouting.
fuck yeah, true. And is it possible to cross the border yet? Like what's that like? Do you think you would have to wait a little bit and you just have to tour in Canada or something?
We've got to prove vaccinations.
Okay.
We still have to get negative PCR tests on like the couple days beforehand. But like I said, I just flew down to Philly and was coming back. I leave
That's
with Beartooth in a couple of weeks, and I had my P2 visa, which is what we need. I got that approved. So like, I gave everything that I needed to the government, and they looked at me and said, "You're good to go." So it's looking pretty good. It's expensive is the big thing.
Yeah.
Because like we have to write our checks to Homeland Security for a visa. And so like I think I just dropped like, I mean it's in some high numbers for, you know, not really a guarantee that I'm gonna get my visa. Fortunately I did, which is awesome. But
Oh, good.
yeah, I got it like a week ago and I was like, holy shit, I actually get to work. This is awesome. But that's like our biggest kind of hang up is making sure that we can afford the visas, and that like if we're gonna drop 50 grand as a band to get everything together for it, I don't want to go down and do one tour for 3 weeks and make $700. So like
Right.
there's a lot of outside and I don't want to say political, but like financial kind of holdups to make sure everything's good to go. But we're road dogs too. The first tour we did through the States was 60 fucking days. So we're
Let's
more than
go.
comfortable to like fucking hit it.
It shouldn't even be that expensive to fucking come and play fucking tours and make money off of a visa. Like when we went to Canada, like our bass player couldn't get in because he had a fucking misdemeanor for possession of pot. So they're like, nah, dude, like you're not coming in the country. So we had to drop him off at some fucking bus station in New York. They're like, all right, dude, we're gonna go finish this weekender with the Sharks. Like we'll see you later. But that was easy. But and the Sharks were telling me like the visas to get here are expensive as fuck, dude.
Yeah,
It's
it's fucking rough.
insane. And that's is that a one-time buy? Because I'm not really like familiar with it at all. So
I'm gonna leak some knowledge to all the Canadian bands out there.
give them the scoop.
As long as you have a show booked every 44 days, your visa can last up to 364 days. I did not say you have to play a show every 44 days. You just have to have a show booked every 44 days.
Right. And
So
it gets canceled.
yeah, if you know, you get sick and you can't make it for 4 or 5 months, that's not really like, it's not like it resets and they're keeping track. We've also been like super fortunate. When we were doing our touring, we did all our American touring in 1 year, and after we did the initial like cross the border, we walked by and literally were flashing a P2, and it's like, it's not expired, good to go.
Wow, that's crazy. Was that the tour with Offspring?
No, we only did a couple shows with them up here.
Oh, okay. How was that? That looked like a fucking sick show. Because like
Yeah,
they're like
that
a
was unreal.
fucking legend in the punk community over the years.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. Those are some of the biggest shows that we've played so far, like 10, 12,000 people. And they were super nice. They were super humble and like shouted us out on every show. They were super nice guys.
That's what
We got way more love from them than the radio stations in our hometown that were putting on the shows.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I think these bands really need to fucking make some statements. Like, not saying they have to, but if we want this community to evolve, grow, thrive, like to continue on and carry the legacies of bands after bands after bands, we should start talking about the littler bands, like the bands that are just getting established, or I mean, that actually have talent that can really fucking put themselves out there. Because the more you talk about it, you know, you're just fueling like the entire fucking business for it. And it seems like they are, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, totally. I don't know if you caught Ben from Neck Deep story. I think it was yesterday, but he went on a rant about how he heavily believes that, you know, bands that are on the come up need more recognition because, like, especially coming out of a pandemic, you know, these guys that like are, when push comes to shove, they don't really know which way they're going to go. They haven't really invested as much as some of the bands that are more established. So they could very easily just walk away, and then we have no new generation musicians coming up.
right.
And so he very much was like, you need to start like listen to your local bands, check this thing out, like go to a fucking show.
Yeah, seriously, fucking, and that's why I kind of praise Kellen Quinn a bit. Like the amount of features that dude like did during the pandemic. Like, one, he doesn't have to do it. Two, I'm sure like he's like, yeah, he might be a little expensive, but like it's nothing too significant between like 4 or 5 people. I mean, the guy's got to eat too, but like he's putting himself on like bands that he believes in. You know what I mean? So to have Kellen Quinn's name feature on a song, and it's like Aim High is a perfect example. That song is a fucking banger. That's like my go-to song from them. But yeah, like you just gotta recognize like the smaller bands. Like Calling All Captains isn't small. Poeta is small. Fucking
Dude, thank you. That means so much.
You know what I mean? Like you guys are established. You tour. Like you're you guys are doing all the right things. You're signed to Equal Vision. Like those are the hardest steps to get to, honestly. As an underground artist and such. And it's crazy because like not only you were signed to Equal Vision, but you guys also signed to New Damage Records. How does that work? I'm confused because like Equal Vision is cool as shit, but it looks like you're signed to 2 labels, or is that label a distribution? 3 labels.
3 actually, yeah. So we got signed to Equal Vision first, and they got us for the US, and with them we're partnered with Rude Records for the UK, and so we were technically unsigned in Canada for the last year, and then after we shuffled up what we were doing with our recording options during the pandemic a few times, and finally got the record done, we were like, hey, we might as well get a Canadian team too. So we our manager started shopping around for that, and we got hooked up with New Damage, and now we're on 3 labels.
That's wild. Yeah. So wait. So new Damage Records is Canadian based business.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's New Damage has Canada, Rude has Europe, and EVR has worldwide outside of that.
Okay.
And it was a really cool deal. Like when we sat down with EVR in the first place, they didn't want to sign us in Canada. Like it was there like, hey, listen, we could do it and just leech that money, or you guys can do it yourself and like keep 100% of what Canada's paying, which was financially incredible because like being Canadian band, you guys both drank at the same time. That was the coolest thing to watch. Is both just this. Yeah.
Really? Oh, that's so wild.
But so they gave us the option to not sign with them in Canada, so we could do everything ourselves and we could book our own shows and deal with our own distribution, like take all the money, and it was great. But it's also to the point that like I think we're exhausted of being DIY up here. So when the talk was like, hey, do you want to submit to a couple Canadian labels, there was no hesitation. It was like, yeah, please.
Yeah, seriously. It takes a lot of that pressure off your back of like, all right, booking shows and getting guarantees and getting things ready. And are they doing your merch? Do they have a merch deal with you, or are you guys just doing merch yourselves? Like,
it's like they get, I think it's 2 exclusive soft pieces, and that's it. And then everything else we're cool to do ourselves. Like it's an awesome deal. Brad and I actually just went in and bought a silkscreen press to start doing merch in-house ourselves.
Nice, let's go.
It's like, yeah, that's how I paid my way through college. So I'm like, I think I remember how to do it. Like it was 10 years ago, but I'm sure I figured it out again and start making our own merch and save a little money off the top there too.
Oh, fuck yeah, absolutely. I did that back in high school, fucking graphic arts class. That's why I'm able to do this podcast and shit. Like, just the average stuff, dude. Like, I ain't doing anything fucking significant. Like, that intro that I have for this is from Clint from Galactic Empire. Fucking dude's making videos for August Burns Red. I'm not doing that shit. I just need a hookup. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, fucking, but that's super rad. Speaking of merch, are you guys thinking about doing vinyl for this record?
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
That's actually been the biggest holdup on this record coming out. So like we finished recording August of last year. And so the biggest like holdup was vinyl plants were so backed up. Like the date that everything is supposed to finally come out is, I think we said it's like 8 months after we submitted it all. So like we've been just sitting and waiting of like, okay, make sure this comes out on time. Make sure this record's the vinyl's gonna be there.
Shit. Yeah, I would be antsy as fuck. Yeah.
The whole release date is based just on when we could get the vinyl.
100%.
Wow. So all your content's done, basically. Like the videos are done, and that's so sick. That's so sick,
dude. It's the first time in forever this band has been prepared for anything to come out. Like we keep talking about. Like we've had music video shot and ready to go. We've got some studio stuff that we talked about. Maybe we put out webisodes. Maybe we put out like an hour-long documentary because we did the documentary for the Offspring show. And so we're like, maybe we just go back and do another thing like that. Mm-hmm. So we've got all this content that now we're like, okay, we can actually organize everything and have like when the release actually comes, make sense.
Yep. So for anybody that's listening or watching that's underground and wants to make a significant impact, I taught that I expressed that to Poeta when we first started. Like we recorded 3 songs and then they wanted to release it. I was like, oh dude, we're not releasing these until we go back in the studio for our full length, for our debut. Like, no. Like we can still, I was like, no. I was like, you have to build content, put that shit in the basket, and then just start slowly leaking it out so you can build that momentum and that traction. And then eventually it'll probably push you into some well-known success if people pick up on the music, like, or not. You know what I mean? But it's just how the business works. You know what I mean? Constantly being relevant like you guys are. That's what you got to do. Like, and during the pandemic, that wasn't fucking easy. We were like, fuck, what do we do? Like, we can only do so many live streams. Like, what the fuck? Like, what is Dance Gavin Dan's gonna do a live stream every fucking like month? Like, no, they can't do that. Like, I think they did two.
I mean, they would.
They would.
If anybody would, I would watch a Dance Gavin Dance live stream every month.
I think the only one that I saw that was really well prepared was August Burns Red. They did like every live stream was a 10-year anniversary. Every live stream was something completely different, and I mean, it was just. But like, I'm just saying for bands that like don't have that, it's like you can't expect them to stream every month. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it's just new ways of discovering how to promote ourselves in this industry during a pandemic. But yeah, dude, like that's super fucking tight that everything's prepared and shit. And like that's why you were so antsy. You're like, oh, dude, I'm ready to fucking go. Now I know why.
Yeah.
And as the group, we've never done that. Like we've always just been like, oh, we have content here, world. Like we got 50 photos from a show. Here's all 50 of them. We're not going to save these and wait. We're like, we know we have more shit coming. Whereas this point, we're like, okay, we actually need to space stuff out. And like, I started streaming on Twitch on the band account. Luke and Connor were doing YouTube streams every Sunday. Like we took something in. Brad's been like spearheading TikTok. Like there's no fucking tomorrow. And like, he's got schedules and like, okay, we're shooting this stuff on this day. And we're figuring like, there's actual work going into this, and it's not just okay. We're gonna practice on Mondays, and that's it.
Yeah,
it's crazy because it's nothing I think any of us are ever prepared for or ready for.
No, nobody was prepared for it. That's like the whole thing about this pandemic. Like nobody knew what the fuck was going on. Like this podcast didn't start out of nowhere. Like it literally started because of the pandemic. Like being an underground band is like, what do you gotta do to stay relevant? I don't know. Start a podcast. Let's see what happens. So, but that was like the big thing. And dude, TikTok, like I've already had 2 episodes like when I talked about this, but man, TikTok's the way to fucking get discovered sometimes, dude. Holy shit. Magnolia Park, all that shit.
Dude, Magnolia Park is their own level of anything. The fact that they are like in-house video and content creators outside of like anything else is amazing.
So is Action Adventure. They told me that.
Yeah. Fuck, that band deserved, like both of them deserve so much. I'm so glad Action got signed to Pure Noise.
Yeah, dude, that was like, I mean, I wasn't shocked, but I was definitely surprised. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, that's really fucking cool. Like, they really deserve that. And just like with any other band that's super successful. But these bands have been around forever, and it's like, oh no, they're getting noticed. Like, the big one I saw was Until I Wake. They signed to Fearless. That's a huge signing. But yeah, there's just ways to go about trying to really get the content out there that you want to do. And it's just not easy. But there's what else has been going on recently with Calling All Captains, because you were talking about some kind of guitar deal as well. That come like during the pandemic?
Yeah, our manager Cam Burchill, absolute fucking gem. Anybody who's been around knows this guy. He was a Warped Tour road dog for years. He's worked with like Pierce the Veil. He was out with Secrets a bunch. He did Hands Like Houses. Like we've known the guy for years. He's from around here, but he got in touch with Fender for us and hooked it up with. So we're Fender artists now. And so Brad's got his hanging behind. I've got mine sitting right down here too. Like. You know, we're super fucking stoked. I think Brad picked his up yesterday. I picked mine up like a week ago. So, like, they're brand fucking new. They haven't even seen a practice yet.
That's so juicy, dude. So when they go on tour, like, you know.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it's a cool one because, like, I've played nothing but Fenders my entire life. Like, the only time I strayed was my first bass was an Ernie Ball Stingray. And I played that thing for years, and then I put on like a Fender Jazz, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's half the weight. My back thanks me. Like, we're gonna keep this shit going." And then I've been like slowly getting a little bit lighter because my fat ass is getting out of shape. My knees are starting to give out, so lighter bass. And I've run everything through a Sansamp anyway. The tone's all figured out. All I have to do is show up. It's awesome.
It could be worse. You could be a boomer with a Les Paul. You know what I mean? Like.
Hey, Brad, you want to pull that studio out from behind you, buddy?
It's literally right there.
Is it a 70s Les Paul?
It's so heavy. Like, I can play like 3 songs with it, and then I'm like, okay, my spine's messed up. That's it.
Yeah, you're gonna have fucking scoliosis like fucking Mick Mars or some shit, dude, just for playing that on the entire
Yeah,
tour.
exactly.
Like,
I'm pretty sure Brad went to high school with Mick Mars.
Yeah, good guy.
good
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. Just, you know.
Anybody who follows me on Instagram, I wish Brad a happy birthday about once a month. It's never on his birthday. Just randomly, I'll throw up a picture of him, and it'll always be something unflattering.
Right.
So in my head, Brad is like, I don't know, 45, but he looks like he could still be fucking 16. So it's just fun.
That's some good deep sarcasm. I fucking love that shit, dude.
Yeah.
And like, I could fucking sit there and talk about sarcasm all day. And dude, I just want, we talked about this off air. We won't get into it about the whole situation. That
oh, dude, I cannot wait to see that play out.
So anybody's listening or watching, I have a very, very nice surprise coming soon. So that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, dude. So what was the plan for this album? Like, were you going to basically follow it up with a tour in a sense, like because I know everything is like collectively put together for the release and such. So is this trying to mold itself into like a full, like, let's say US tour or something like that? Like, is that like a planned idea for Calling All Captains?
I think the game plan is hit the road and never come home.
Yeah.
Realistically, I know provincially right now everything's still very up in the air. Like Alberta just opened everything on the 1st, Brad, is that right?
Yeah.
And I know like British Columbia to the west of us doesn't open until September 7th. So yeah, with things like that, like we're obviously very constrained on like trying to do localized and regionalized tours around here, because like we can't book anything until things are officially open, and then somebody says they're gonna stay open. Especially in Canada, because like everything could just in a fucking switch, like, nope, we're going back to phase 1, everything's shut down, don't leave your fucking homes. And with that too, like I said, it's trying to book American stuff when we're already battling vaccines and everything up here. It's hard to get everything dialed in completely. But like Brad mentioned before, we've been talking to agents in the States about getting us out there for a few runs for anything and everything at this point, it feels like.
Good. Wait, Sneaky D's is not there anymore, right?
Toronto, I think they saved it.
Thank fucking God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That place is fucking awesome for fucking shows. That's what
I got hammered with Sam Guyana after we played a show there. We played a show there. The promoter dipped during our set and we didn't get paid.
Yeah.
And
that's
so
fucking sketchy.
Well, and it was we were all really happy. That was actually Brad's birthday, funny enough.
Ironically, that was actual Brad's birthday.
That was actually Brad's birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to me.
And that whole fucking day was wild. So like we get into Toronto and like, Sneaks, so there's the parking lot just across the street where everybody parks.
Yeah.
So we used to tour in a handicap bus.
Fuck yeah.
It was so sick. We had all the gear in with us. We made a loft that we could all sleep in. So like we parked the bus there. Everything was good to go. Promoter dipped, so we don't get paid. I think they kicked us out early because they wanted to do karaoke. And so we went downstairs. Brad and our drummer Tim wound up going out bar hopping or something like that. Connor and Luke went and sat in the bus and got high. I went and had drinks with Sam Guyana and Chris, who was the old bass player of like Pacific. And I got like blackout hate drunk. I was just so mad that like everything went wrong. And so I was just like angry, and they like close the bar. I go back to the bus. I fall asleep. Get woken up 3 hours later by the parking lot attendant who's like, it's 6 a.m. You got to leave. And so we get in. Brad and Tim are still out gallivanting around downtown Toronto celebrating Brad turning 21 or whatever the fuck it was at the time. And so Luke in his underwear just gets in the seat, drives around till he finds an empty spot on a side street, gets back in, sleeps for 2 hours, and then we wake up and we're like, oh shit, we have to do an acoustic session at Exclaim like right now. We don't know where our drummer and our guitar player are, and so we just like drove to the Exclaim offices and like text them like, we're here, and that was it. And we just expected them to show up,
and they did.
Yeah.
And
Tim
Holy shit.
Tim showed up still drunk so bad that he passed out in the van or in the bus. And it was like 45 Celsius, so it was like 115 or something like that Fahrenheit.
Holy
shit. Inside the van, and he slept and detoxed through sweat to sober up, while Brad is sitting and playing acoustic guitar looking like he's about to puke inside Exclaim. And then Exclaim lost the footage. So we woke up early, never saw the light of day. Yeah.
You know what? It was a good thing that they lost that. I did not feel well.
Lost the footage.
The freelance artist that they hired like literally took the footage and then stopped replying to emails.
Wow, that's fucking bizarre. That sounds like honestly like the worst fucking couple days for something like that. Like you guys just like back to back like fucked up shit. Like
dude, we've had some horrible fucking days, man.
Oh my god. The horror stories from tour, people don't fucking realize like this ain't fucking all sunshines and rainbows, dude. I'm not pulling out a Rocky speech right now, but like my god, like you just gotta fucking when you grind out there, bro. You know what I mean? Like you're in the middle of fucking nowhere. Well, Sneaky Dee's in the middle of nowhere, but still.
Yeah. Brad, do you want to tell them about the Portland show? Or no, it was Seattle, the Spokane show or whatever the fuck it was. The second show of the American tour that we wound up at the hospital.
Oh yeah, man. Everybody thinks like you know, friends and family are always like, oh, have fun on tour. That'll be a nice vacation. And I'm like, man, it's not a vacation. Like I'm gonna die on this tour.
It's work.
So,
yeah,
we're working hard.
Work.
We're eating less, and we're drinking more. Like I might not make it home.
Yeah, I'm like the 30-minute set that we play is gonna be fun, but like the rest of it is almost hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we this was the start of our 60-day US tour, and we were playing in Portland, and our drummer Tim just like he just goes all in on every time. And we're like, you know, Tim, you should pace yourself maybe a little bit. And he was like, nope, gotta go full all the way in. And he ended up blowing out his rotator cuff on the second show of the tour in Portland. So we had to take him to the hospital at 2 a.m. And
who's the one that didn't get insurance?
and four to five people in the band got health insurance for the U.S. Guess who didn't? It was Tim. Yeah. So he was like, man, is this going to be like $1 million or something? Isn't like the healthcare situation in the States real bad?
Right.
So he was super concerned about that. And he got some x-rays and some medication and a sling and stuff. And luckily Luke used to be our drummer. So Tim rode the bench for a few weeks while he healed, and Luke stepped up and sang and drummed. So that was nuts.
What the fuck? That's incredible.
Yeah.
It was not fun for anybody.
Yeah, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't a perfect system, but we managed to make it through those 2 weeks.
God.
Well, and I mean, so okay, this is the laminate from that tour. Like that's a lot of fucking shows.
That's intimidating as shit, dude.
And when did he fucked up? There. That's the start. So
if you're not watching on YouTube, it's literally show 1, dude.
It's insane. Yeah. So
damn, I give you props. Holy shit, dude.
So we're like, yeah, we wound up at the hospital in Portland. Fortunately, we have friends in Portland that we got to stay with that night. Unlike, again, 60-day tour, I think friends put us up maybe 5 or 6 times, hotel maybe 5 or 6 times, the van twice. And then Brad can tell the story later about everything else. But I'm throwing that one to you, bud. You enjoy that. But so like fortunately we have a place to stay for like a couple nights. So like he's resting his shoulder. We have a show in Portland, and we're with Settle Your Scores and Gardenside, both like 2 phenomenal fucking bands.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And like obviously we get to the show and we're like, Luke's playing drums, and they're like, what the fuck happened? We talked to him about it, and Rob Craig from Gardenside, or Rob Snow, and Caleb from Settle Your Scores stepped up, and they learned some songs and got to play like a couple extra on the end. So like we could give them a full performance instead of just like, well, this is awkward and uncomfortable. And so like we got to see that. But a week after everything happens with Tim, we're in California, where there used to be an Equal Vision office where our A&R and everything was. And like Lisa Gerlich, Kika, and Alex Bemis, who are like, they're our fucking team. We've never met these people face to face. At that time we'd only met Dan Santel, who's the president of EVR, who's the guy who signed us. And so we're like trying to make a good impression, and we're playing at Program Skate and Sound, which is like an iconic punk venue down there. It's literally a skate shop without a fucking drummer. And so just like man, I'm so sorry. They fucking loved us. Like we still get along. Kika's now over doing like not-for-profit work. Alex is still our guy. He does all of our editing on a bunch of videos. He edited the Undone video. He edited the guitar playthrough that we're going to be putting out right away.
Awesome.
And Lisa has moved over to Rise, and like we still stay in touch, but like it's one of those moments where like, fuck.
Because you build up the hype as soon as like the tour is announced and you're about to hit the road, and then you hit the road, and then something like that fucking happens, and it's like, what a fucking buzzkill, dude. Because now you're out a fucking drummer for the whole tour.
Fortunately, he came back in Texas, so like we still had him for 2/3 of the tour, which was great. His shoulder still fucks up every now and then. He's reeled it back in.
Really?
Thank God.
Oh no. That's really fucked up for a drummer.
I mean, he's been playing. He dropped out of high school to tour, and he'd been playing drums for like 4 hours a day for 10 years straight at that point.
I love that, dude.
And like fucking windmilling a China, so it was just this repetitive motion over and over that fucked him up. We used to cover an Alexis on Fire song, and it's like the breakdown of that. He's like, I can tell you exactly where it fucking went out, like
because we've only played that song, dude.
Yeah. I had something I forgot.
No, it's okay. I was gonna say something that the same thing basically happened with the Sharks. So I let the Sharks like stay at my house for a little bit. Oh, they watched the Eagles win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Oh, bro, I partied really fucking hard. I was like, oh, let's go to Philly right now.
I partied hard for that one, man. Fucking Nick Foles, let's go.
Nick Foles, big dick, fucking big dick Nick, dude, like taking us all the way. So, but on that tour, when they were done staying at my place, like, I think they crashed there for like 5 days. It was like a home base. They went south. And like Will, the drummer, like did something. They had to drive all the fuck way back to Canada because he didn't have insurance either. So they drove to fucking Canada, and then they came back on the tour. I was like, wow, that's a fucking hike, dude. That's when they had the fire engine fucking red. The fucking ambulance thing. I don't even know what the fuck that is, but it's sick. It's a sick fucking band. But yeah, dude, that's what I mean. Like, cause like you could just go to a hospital in Canada. You just walk into a hospital in Canada and you get taken care of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have that here. It's kind of fucked. That's where the politics come into play, which we're not gonna talk about. But it's like, come on, man. Like,
my wife just moved in. I got married like a week ago.
Oh, congratulations! That's
Thanks,
awesome.
bud. But now we're like doing all the process for like her to get all the Canadian stuff sorted. And the first thing is like, hey, how do we get you to a doctor for free?
Right. Seriously.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, a certificate of some kind of like proven source, I guess.
Yeah, we're like, she's literally out there dealing with a lawyer right now while we're doing this.
Oh shit!
Yeah, she wants to figure out how to work and how to see a doctor, and like everything else, we're like, we can figure that much out.
Yep, it's gotta be fucking productive. That's all. I just wish that Tim could have been taken care of a little bit.
He was taken care of.
I know, but like it probably cost him a pretty penny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Brad, you want to fill that one in too?
Yeah, actually, we debated for a bit. We're like, should we drive him back to Canada, or what's the best way to do this? And we ended up so he got fixed up and medicated, and then we had to keep going, and so about a week later, he was like, man, I just got this really bad feeling, like this bill is going to come at some point. Like, what's it going to be? And we ended up in Texas when he finally got the bill. And I think it was...
So, hang on. I'm going to fix that. We were in Odessa, Texas, or Abilene, or something like that, and we met a dude. But he got the bill in Jacksonville, Florida, or Gainesville, Florida. It was one of the two.
Oh, yeah.
It's whenever Leonard was out of the show. Leonard's Luke's dad. Luke's dad flew from Edmonton to Florida. My parents flew from Edmonton to like Phoenix, Edmonton to Buffalo to come like check up on us on tour. We're like super fortunate. Our families are supportive in this shit.
Oh, 100%, dude.
But so yeah, he got the bill in Florida.
Yeah. Okay, no, but in Texas, we met this dude at a show, and after the show, this guy just like came up to us and was like, "Yo, I love your band. You guys make great music. Do you want to stay at my house tonight?" And we were like, hell yeah. And we went and stayed with this dude, and he was like, super nice. He put us up and bought us snacks and like all kinds of shit. Just a great dude.
We got a full garbage bag of like chips and chocolate bars and just random fucking like rat pastries and shit. Billy and Miranda, if you guys fucking hear this, we still talk about you. You guys are amazing people.
Yeah, Billy's our dude. Anyway, We stayed with him, and the next day, Billy was like, "Yo, so I'm not working right now. I just sold a house. I got a whole bunch of money. Is it cool if I just like follow you guys around on tour?" And we were like, "Yeah, man, hell yeah, fuck. See you at the next show."
Yeah,
And
we're leaving Texas this day, and we're going to Ohio.
yeah,
He's
we're like, "Are
following
you
you.
sure?"
I'm
He's
Yeah,
literally
following you.
following you. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
yeah. So
Interesting.
he followed us, and I think this is probably like the 10th, like the 8th or 10th, somewhere like that, 8th or 10th show that he followed us. We're in Florida, and Tim finally gets his bill, and he was like, "Man, it's like it was, I don't know what it was. It was like $3,000 US or something,
Oh
which
my
in
god.
Canada is like $1 million." So he
Wait,
was,
hold on. I want to do the math real quick.
yeah, do
$3,000
the exchange rate.
It
American,
was
30%.
4,500
So
at the time.
Yeah,
nice. Damn, that was quick
Yeah.
math. That was quicker than me.
yeah.
Oh no,
Anyways.
that's not quick math. That's I just remember it happening and almost going.
Oh damn!
Fuck.
You should have just took the props.
Yeah.
Hey, my dad's from Oklahoma. I'm from Canada. I do Celsius and Fahrenheit like that. That's about all I got.
Ah, that's kind of cool. I don't know Celsius for shit, bro.
That's a skill. Yeah.
Yeah, or kilometers.
But yeah, so anyway, Tim gets his bill, and he was like, "Man, like we're already not making very much money on this tour. I don't make very much money back home. Like Tim teaches music lessons and like drum and piano and shit. Like he's a full-time musician, has been for years. And he was like, I have no idea how I'm gonna pay this. Like I'm fucked." And he was just like outside being depressed, and Billy was like, "Hey man, like what's wrong?" And he was like, "Well, you know how this happened. Well, I finally got my bill, and I don't know what I'm gonna do." And and Billy was like, "Man, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that." And I think he left, and like half an hour later, he came back and he was like, "Here, dude, I got your medical bills," and just like handed him the cash. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Oh my
George, I love how it's
God.
just like I'm not sure if you're still there or frozen, but if it wasn't for the computer flashing, it's just awestruck.
No, I'm literally like fucking not moving an inch. That's fucking crazy. The dude just straight up fucking paid $3,000 for his medical bills. It's fucking awesome.
Yep.
yeah, man, like an actual angel.
Wow.
Dude, we've gone back to Texas before, and he like buys beers for the band. He's got a tattoo from like captains, and we're like,
Oh,
man,
let's
we just
go.
like this is just a homie we met. He's one of our best friends I think we've ever met on tour. Like
Yeah.
he was just a guy who was at a show and was like, hey, I like your band.
Oh my god! And I thought I was nice. Jesus Christ, that dude's fucking.
You thought we're Canadian and we're not even that nice.
Well, you mean the stereotype for Canadians aren't that nice? You know what I mean? I don't know. The Sharks are pretty nice. I don't know what they're like behind closed doors. Now I'm just fucking around.
I'm not gonna throw $3,000 at somebody for their medical bills
Oh,
though.
neither
Like
am I, bro. Are you fucking
that's a
kidding me?
different level of a good human being. Like that's incredible.
Yeah, it takes me too long to make $3,000. I don't need any further than that. Fucking, you gotta love the life of being a musician. Fucking poor, hungry, dirty. Like, it's a hard gig, dude. That's why, like you said earlier, it's not a fucking vacation when you go on tour. Like, it's a job, but it's a job that doesn't pay well until it starts taking off in a sense. But yeah, dude, it's fucking rough. And wow, Billy, you're the fucking man, dude. Wow,
Yeah.
I'm still shocked by it. Like, that's like there's so much money to a lot of people. So
Well, and dude, like he's not a guy that's in a band. Like he's just a homie. He's actually a promoter in Texas now. Like he's like, man, I just want to see the scene thrive, and so he just like puts on these shows and makes sure everybody gets taken care of. And like, guy's an amazing, amazing human.
that's awesome. I wish I wish I had the time to throw shows because I'd throw some fucking really banging shows. We had this place called Sacred Grounds years ago, dude. I think the biggest bands that came through was like I Set to Kill during their prime and like a couple other bands, but like that was where we used to go. Like it was like a $5 cover charge. It was There was like dirty couches. People were making out on them. People were having sex in the cemetery next door and shit. Like it was the fucking good old days, dude. Now it's really hard to fucking get gigs because of the fucking guarantees that basically apply to every single venue now. So that's really a fucking shame that we have to do that. Do you guys know who you're probably going to be touring with by any chance, or who do you want to tour with when you start releasing this album? Like,
So that's where it sits, is who we want to. man, I would fucking kill to like, roll out with like, I would want to do that same tour again. I love the dudes in Sonoya Scores. Like if we could rip another run with them, that would be fucking
Yeah, because they
incredible.
just got signed too, so that's a lot of momentum, right?
Yep. Well, and their new record, like the 2 singles they've dropped, are fucking phenomenal. I talked to Christian like every week. The dude is like so fucking hyped on everything they got coming. Like their record is gonna be amazing. If we're going like far the fuck out there, I would love to open for State Champs and do like a run with them.
Fuck yeah, you guys would suit so well, State Champs. State Champs, Neck Deep. Because there's Calling All Captains has that grit. Like it has that it's pop punk, but it has that edge to it. You know what I'm fucking saying, dude? Like that you don't really hear that shit. Like State Champs is like that's like poppy. You know what I mean? Like because he's got a great voice, but I just love the grit. You'd fit so well with that.
We're the kind of band like I think once we did the switch, we got Luke singing up front and everything too. When you look at pop punk and you look at the bands that are out there doing pop punk, it's a lot of pop punk, and we're like, now we're gonna be pop punk.
Right, you're gonna put the more emphasis on the punk in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, I want to play a show where somebody leaves in an ambulance, but I also want everybody to have a good time. Like, you know what I like having some fun. I like a good mosh pit, but I also want to see some kids two-step into the shit. Like,
oh fuck, I miss two-stepping, dude. I miss shows so badly. I'm too old to be in a fucking mosh pit, but I'll two-step the fuck out of a song. And not only that, dude. Like, when that guy goes to the hospital, you want him to have like a thumbs up and be like, hey, I can't. And he like tells that story. Oh man, I got fucked up at a Calling All Captain show. It was great, dude. Like, I got fucked up at early Attila with Rage.
Fuck yeah!
I got fucked up on that fucking show in a dive bar in New Jersey. Holy shit! I got my ass thrown on the ground. My one friend got knocked the fuck out. Ironically, on Lights Out on the song.
Nice. Took it a little too literally. We're good.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he went so fucking hard in the pit. It was wild. Or maybe it was. Was it Rage or was it Outlawed? I think it was Outlawed, but still, it was still a good show. They were on the up and coming and stuff too. But State Champs, Neck Deep, I think there's just because now what's happening is this new bubblegum pop called new punk, which is like the new pop punk. It says Jesse Lee basically coined the term, which is like the MGK style and all that shit. But I think it's great how it's making it relevant again. So we definitely need more of that.
I mean that MGK Kenny Hoopla tour, like if that was coming up here, I would be fucking first person in line, like
that's what
waiting
I'm saying.
for it.
Yeah,
like that shit goes hard, but then it's also like, man, that leaves the opening for, what 5 Seconds of Summer started, where they were like, yeah, we're gonna go and open for One Direction, but then we're also gonna go play with like All Time Low. Like it opened the door. All this came in, and the next thing you know, it's gonna be like MGK and A Day to Remember doing a run together.
Oh my god, dude, that's like a fucking huge lineup. That's a huge. I could actually fucking see that happening. And you know what? I want to say this right now. I'm gonna be the first person to say this because I used to try to call things before they happen. But I think A Day to Remember is gonna take a break soon.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna be not. I don't think they're gonna break up, but I think they're gonna go on hiatus soon. I have a feeling. I think after the release of Bad Vibrations, it just hasn't been the response that they were looking for, or maybe it was just like, come on, let's just finish this album and get out of the way because it took very long to fucking get that album set.
Man, I accidentally bought that vinyl in gold.
Accidentally.
I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll buy the record. And I just like went on my phone and I was like, yeah, add to cart, said, and then like I got the Visa bill and I was like, the fuck did I spend $130 on? Scrolled through it. And then I got the email. They're like, oh yeah, you know what was supposed to be here in June? Well, try November. And like they still haven't pressed it. So I'm just like,
fuck me, dude. Right in the ass, bro. It's crazy, dude. Like, I can't wait to see what your vinyl's gonna look like. Speaking of vinyl, I can already kind of like see the mesh. Or how many variants are you doing? 2, 5. Fuck yeah, that's
bunch,
so sick, dude. I love that shit. Yeah, I think the MGK thing opened up a whole doors. Like, and dude, it's crazy because I see so many people still on the internet that are like, fuck that music. I'm like, nah, dude, like you don't get it. Like this is basically like him, Mod Sun, Kenny Hoopla, like all those dudes, fucking, and dude, even like new dudes that I just started discovering, like Chad Tepper or Nathan James. Nathan James is MGK's photographer who is now getting into music, which I mean he's always been a musician, but whatever. But it's basically Young Money with Minaj and Drake and this and that. It's making the genre relevant. So like, why the fuck not? Dude, it makes us look great.
Oh yeah.
The fuck? Like, it's very confusing. I never understood the hate for it, but I guess because like I mean the fucking song went platinum or the album went platinum, so just recently. And yeah, and then TikTok made that viral all-time low TikTok with the anime intro and shit. That made that single platinum too. So I don't know, dude. It's just fucking out of this world. So state champs, neck deep. Is there anybody else like you're trying to like aim to tour with in retrospect? Like have you? Because I know like some label mates. That's usually what labels do. They put tour packages together with label mates. So like maybe like Young Culture or something. Or
would love a Young Culture on. Sherry Amore, who just got signed.
Yeah.
Fucking love those dudes. Would be so
what about
down to do that.
Neverloved? How do you feel about Neverloved? I think they're great.
I literally was messaging Cam. They're doing rehearsals for their Armor for Sleep tour, and I was just like, "Yo, what's up?" Like that. Me, Cam, and Shane. So during all the pandemic, when everything was going on, one of the big things was Luke was like, "Hey, we got to get a Discord going." Him and Cam, our manager, got everything set up, so we got our own Discord server. That when everything was like super locked down and really shitty outside, was popping off. It's still like pretty busy now, but like I'm not around it a whole lot. Brad, I don't think you're around it a whole lot either. You might post your fucking breakfast salad or something. That's about it. So it's like we kind of drifted away, but through that, the Neverlove dudes added me to one of theirs, and it's just the power hour. So all they do is like they sit and make, it's a music video compilation where there's a new song every minute, and every time the new song starts, you do a drink. So we just sit around, get hammered, and tell stories and watch music videos and like enjoy it. So like me and those dudes get along really fucking well, and they are like, that's one of my dream bands to tour with from the label. Would be like us, them, Pierce the Veil, and We Came as Romans or some shit. Like that would be a run.
Oh, I'm gonna flex real hard. Fucking We Came as Romans just followed me on TikTok, and I fucking almost cried, dude. I was like, I've known you guys for.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing him on the Two Planet Seed tour. I just don't know what they're gonna do with Kyle not being there, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Like, right. I don't know who's gonna take the cleans, but
I got faith in Andy. Bass players unite. Let's do it.
Let's go, Andy. Do 2 fucking instruments. Be like Tim. Play 2 instruments. Sing and play an instrument. You know what I mean? Fucking. God, that'd be sick. That's cool as fuck though. Sitting back and talk. Yeah, because I saw Young Culture. They did something innovative and. They would like have this thing on Twitch. They would stream and stuff. I didn't know Neverlove was doing that. I tried hitting them up, but the manager that used to manage them doesn't work with them anymore, so it's kind of hard to get hold of them.
Oh, dude, their new manager is such a fucking great dude too. He's the guitar player for Rarity, Adam Clark.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah. We fucking the first time we played with Rarity. And this ties back to an earlier point.
Yeah.
When you were talking about like, you know, like I said, taking somebody out in a stretcher, there's a photo of us on stage with a girl in the front row with just blood pouring down her face, having the time of her life. But the first time we played with Rarity, Adam Clark takes a glass on stage and smashes it and punches it and then keeps playing and realizing he split his hand open like pretty bad. So like midway through the set, Connor and Luke are our fucking resident first aid staff. Literally bring him over, like wrap toilet paper around, make sure he can still play, like tape him together, finish the fucking set, and then somebody drove him to the hospital to get stitched up.
Oh,
because like it was bad.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure it was, especially when you cut your fucking hand open on glass and it's fucking.
It was like right, like whole fucking way down.
I'm not good with blood. Oh, dude, that's punk as shit though.
Oh yeah,
fucking it doesn't matter, dude. There's blood splat everywhere. You know what also is punk? Shitting your pants on stage. Will from We Were Sharks shit his pants while he was drumming when we were on tour with him. Oh my god, that was fucking hilarious.
Brad, you want to tell the story?
How many people shit their pants on tour? That's what I want to know. I need to start going.
It's always a drummer. No question.
Oh, dude, I'm the drummer, so like I gotta really fucking watch myself. Like, no. Yeah. Wait. So did Tim really shit his pants?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Do you want to go into that whole bit?
You tell it. You probably remember it better than me.
So we're literally, it's the last day of that fucking giant ass tour. We're in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Which, if you're listening, Manitoba doesn't exist. It's a myth that the Canadian government made up. It's empty space there. So we're playing the show, and like we're all fucking exhausted. We've been on tour diet for like nothing but Taco Bell and taquitos from 7-Eleven. Like we are not doing good. It's hot as shit in the venue. And we're like headlining. We're ending the set with that Alexis on Fire cover that I talked about, the one that he fucks his shoulder up on. And it's This Could Be Anywhere in the World. So right after that last pause, it goes into the final breakdown. And as he's playing, he just like looks down and pukes straight into his own lap without stopping.
Whoa.
And we're just like, yo, like, what the fuck? Like, none of us knew until afterwards either. And then he immediately, and like side stage is the door to the outside where we're parked,
Right.
immediately runs outside to finish puking. And as he's puking, shits himself. And then just like looks at us and is like, somebody to get me toilet paper now. So I think Brad's filming it, and Connor runs inside, grabs toilet paper.
Yo! Fucking get this shit, dude.
Yeah.
He's got the flash on and everything. We have been together for so long that nothing's sacred anymore.
Your best friend is not the guy that gets the TP. It's the guy that films and laughs. Yeah.
So, mind you, this is in like the end of March in Western Canada. It is snow outside. So he's standing in like ankle deep snow, puking in one end, pants down the other, just in the alley outside of a fucking venue.
In the snow.
Bro, I'm crying. That's so fucking awesome. That is like the worst fucking worst tour ever.
Yeah, he did not have a good time, but he had a great time.
Oh, dude, stop.
Well, okay, so this, like, again, we talked about this before. When we were on this tour, we did like 10 days with friends, a few days in hotels, and a few days in the van. Every other night, we stayed at a place that we have coined the Tinder Hotel.
Oh, fascinating.
Not really. All it was like, we're just sitting, like, we paid for Tinder Gold, and we're just swiping on everybody.
Like, hey, we're in a band. Like,
everybody's bio was like, yo, we're 5 Canadian dudes on tour. If you have like a floor or a couch, that would be awesome. Mm-hmm. The amount of people that were like, oh my God, I feel so bad for you. We'll definitely put you up. That's actually how that's how I met my wife is like Brad matched with her on Tinder.
Brad, damn it.
Oh, no.
First. No.
Brad naked looks a lot better than Nick naked. So like I was like, him kind of thing. But yeah, so we wound up staying in a bunch of these places and like making a ton of friends. And the awesome thing is every woman that put us up like didn't expect anything. There was no like, oh my God, we need to sleep together if you're gonna stay here. Like it was totally transparent the whole time. Like, listen, we just need a place to sleep in a shower if you have it. So ton of people we made friends with. It was also great because at the time, everybody in the band but Tim was dating. So Tim, being Tim, got to have a little more fun than the rest of us on tour sometimes.
So shitting his pants and throwing up isn't that bad when you're getting laid.
When I say sometimes, I'm gonna say like twice. Like, but like, dude, that beats the hell out of jerking off in a fucking Flying J bathroom. Like,
with the fucking like urinal falling apart, dude, and like fucking cracking the water all over the place and shit.
The most solidarity any of us got on tour was when we'd stop at like a truck stop and pay for the shower, and we'd have an hour there. And I would like shower in 10 minutes and then just sit on my phone and just be like, I don't want to fucking go back and see the band. Like, fuck this. Nothing but them for 60 fucking days. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah, this is your quiet space. This is where you go. It's like your fucking like therapy room. Like, you just fucking scream and take a hot shower and fucking. You gotta be careful with those truck drivers because I have a CDL. I'm in that industry, and there's some fucking gross ass fucking truck drivers out there. So
yeah,
they're a little creepy too, dude. That's actually genius. I've never heard of that idea of just swiping right, paying for Tinder Gold. Hey, like literally make the profile the band, and then just kind of continue with, hey, we're in town. We need a place to stay, kind of shit. Blah blah blah.
We had people that were like, hey, we can't put you up, but we'll come to the show and support and like buy a shirt.
What the fuck? That's so sick.
It's an untapped advertising market. It was awesome.
You're just releasing secrets on this podcast. You know that, right? Like,
hey, no, Tour Tips 101. If you have any questions, me and Brad, we can help with anything any Canadian artist will need.
All right,
it was crazy. It was crazy. Like we had people bring us food and just they're like, hey, can I just like you can't stay with me. I'd love to help, but can I just like PayPal you money for a hotel? Like people will just everything. It was crazy.
We were in Minneapolis, Final Four weekend. Katy Perry was playing, Lil Mosey was playing. Like every hotel was just sold the fuck out. And this woman, it's our last American show. Like it's WrestleMania night. Like everything is just popping off.
Everything's going off.
And so we're sitting around and like woman's like, listen, I'm a paramedic. I'm on call all night, and I know hotels are expensive here. Here's $300. And just like sent money to us. And I think we wound up driving like an hour, got like $100 hotel room, and then used that leftover money to like put gas in the tank. And we sent the boys to Perkins to go pick up some food, and like we just got like set up for the night. And this one woman was just super nice and everything about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You guys run into some great people. I literally, well, my touring experience is very little. So it's like Canada, we were treated very well in Canada. I mean, we didn't stay in anybody's houses and shit, but like, it was fucking cold, but like, we stayed in a hotel. So it was a weekender. It wasn't that bad, but I'm glad there's other people like mine like that take consideration to these bands, because it's not fucking easy. Dude, fuck sleeping in a van, dude. I'd rather sleep on a fucking floor with one pillow and a blanket. Like, that's it. Like, you don't.
I did that. I did that on the Yale campus or some shit when we stayed with Sydney, Brad. I don't think I had a blanket. I think I used like my hoodie as a pillow, and I was just like face down in it. And I'm like, I don't have to worry about like somebody breaking into the van because like we're in secure parking. Like everything just felt so much safer. We did stay with some fucking weird people on that tour, and like obviously anybody who's gonna let 5 random dudes sleep on their floor that they've never met, you're gonna run into those people that are like, listen, I'm down for it, but I'm down for a lot more weird shit if you're down. Kind of.
Yeah, like guys with mustaches who host podcasts. Like,
yeah,
basically fucking...
that's tame compared to like San Antonio, Brad.
Yeah.
We stayed with a couple swingers that we didn't know were swingers until we were already inside.
And then we saw their swing.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put my feet up for this one. I want to listen. I swear to God, dude, I'm about this right now because like this kink shit fucking fuels my goddamn brain. All right, so what happened? So who slept with who?
Okay, wait.
I didn't sleep inside. I slept in the van.
Okay, yeah, no, this is the funniest part. This is the funniest part. So, we matched with this woman on Tinder, and she's like, "Yeah, you guys can stay at my place tonight." And we're like, "Awesome! Hit us with the address." She sends it. We get there, and we message her. I'm like, "Okay, we're here. It's like a gated community. We had to be let in." So we message her. We're like, "Okay, we're here. Can you come let us in?" And this guy comes out, and like, "Yeah, you guys are gonna park right over here. Here, I'll show you." And he just like opens the door to the van and hops in.
Homeboy's got like a polo shirt and a hat on with like matching insignias. So we're all like, it's the security dude. Like she called him to let us in.
Yeah, and he's super friendly. Cool. Okay, that's all right. So we like get all of our stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll show you where it is. Like follow me." And he's like gonna take us right to the door. So we're like, "Wow, this is how the gated communities live. This is amazing." Okay, and we get there. And we get to the door. The door opens. He walks in. And there's a sex swing in the front room. And Nick's like, "I'm going to sleep in the van." I'm just out of there.
So nothing's stolen. I'm sleeping in the van. Fuck.
Yeah. Dude, it's one of those things like we're all sitting around. And it's not like it's like set up. It's like pinned against the wall like it's art. So it's like, okay, whatever, this is weird. But then you notice the eye hook in the ceiling where they set it up directly over the futon where they told the boys to sleep.
Wait, there's a picture on my phone somewhere of us being like, "Okay, who's sleeping where?" And like, do we rock, paper, scissors to see who gets the futon? Like, wanting to lose, obviously. And so I have this picture on my phone of Connor sitting on the futon, just looking so uncomfortable with the sex swing beside him.
Right there, like. Well, and so it gets weirder than that.
Please, fucking inform me.
Before everybody like bails out, the only bathroom in this little like duplex is off their master bedroom. Mm-hmm. So you have to walk through the marital bedroom of like, she's like, "Hi, I'm Marianne, and this is my husband, Scott." Like, immediately we're like, something's up, but it doesn't click like right away. Luke starts showing them some dude on like the piano or some shit. Mm-hmm. And it's a shot from behind, and Luke's like, this guy like doesn't have an ass, and he's like, neither do I, and then shows a picture on his phone. And we had a game, and this was like one of the big Tinder things we had, where we would take selfies with the phone between our butt cheeks and send it to each other.
Dude, I want to go on tour with you guys. That's why fucking Bill came on tour with you motherfuckers. It's because fucking you guys are fucking crazy.
But so Luke winds up showing the husband this photo, and he kind of just like looks at the phone and like, and I'm throwing some glasses on because I want to be as creepy as possible for this one, but he goes one of these. Oh, oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, you
Luke,
really don't have an ass.
Yeah, Luke is the most sweet and innocent kid you will ever meet. And so this is all clear over his head. He has no idea what's going on. So I wind up going to the van to sleep, and I get the story the next morning that everybody went to bed, and I think it was like Connor and Tim took the futon, Brad's on the floor, and Luke's on the floor. And like lights go out, and it's like 20 minutes later, and Luke's like, shit, I have to pee. And like any other human being would have in that situation, you piss in the kitchen sink, you open the front door, like you do everything you can not to walk through the marital bedroom of the swingers into the bathroom. No, Luke in his fucking tighty whities like opens the door and just goes, oh, sorry, excuse me, and like runs into the bathroom, pees, and runs out. And then she starts messaging Brad on Tinder, and then she's like, I'm so glad you guys could stay here. She's like, yeah, I'm glad you guys could stay too. You're really funny. And you're really cute. And Brad just goes, okay, thanks, night. And like turns his phone over and just lies on his back staring at the ceiling until the sun comes up to make sure nobody grabs him.
Oh no, that poor fucking dude. Wow. So nobody got action from that. That's definitely the fucking
I think we all went fucking celibate after that, honestly.
Holy shit, dude. I mean, wow. I mean, I don't. Well, how attractive was the fucking female? You know what I mean? Like, no.
That.
No. I'm not shaming anybody. It's just like,
no.
You know, if you're not attracted to somebody, not attracted to somebody. But holy shit, dude, that's fucking bizarre.
Again, it was one of those situations that like we were very upfront on tour. We all were dating somebody back home, so nobody was sleeping around. Like we're all loyal and responsible dudes.
That's true.
And Tim's still in a sling, so we're not going to throw him to the dogs at that point. He could get more hurt.
Yeah, I also forgot that you all were in a relationship at the time too. So it's like which is cool as fuck because you guys are loyal shit. But there are some people out there that don't do that. But yeah, dude, like fuck, like that. That's fucking hilarious.
Real quick, I do want to give a quick shout out to the girlfriends at the time for being totally okay and like understanding of that's what we did to sleep was like go on Tinder and swipe. Because like everybody was like, listen, I get it, just don't stick your dick in anything. And it was like sick. Basically. Like we're good to roll. Connor's still seeing the same woman. Like I said, I met my wife on that one.
Yep.
Like we're all very fortunate that like we got all the situations that we've been through, everybody has been like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, because it could go completely south and like you don't have a significant other that's not supporting something like that. But that's actually one of like the smart I just never heard of that theory, like or idea before. This is new to me. I think it's fucking genius. If I ever go back on the road, I'm definitely utilizing that. Plus I'm single, so it's like just throwing that out there. But like hey, you want to fucking hang out? Let's go.
The only tour that I've ever been single on, like I am a serial monogamist, was we were touring England. It was a DIY tour. It's 3 weeks, and I'm the only single one. One of two single people. It's us and Chief State. Chief State's drummer is single. I'm single. That's it. I got shut down every night for 3 weeks straight with everybody I talked to.
That's so fucking annoying. I know what it's like, bro. I'm there for you.
Brad's my fucking wingman. We're in a bar in like Leeds, like sitting and slamming drinks and stuff. And this still to this day might be my favorite tour bar we've ever stopped at, Brad. Was the joint that it's like only playing like 2000s pop hits. So like it would go from like Blink-182 to Britney Spears to like TLC. Like it was all over the fucking map. It was so sick. And drinks were on special that night that you could get anything you wanted for £1. So we were doing double Jaeger bombs for like £2, which is like dirt fucking cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I got shut down 15 times in one night.
Ugh. That's fucking frustrating.
It was an upsetting time, but we also went back to like the university dorm that me and Brad were sleeping at like 5 a.m. and Brad broke a badminton net, and then we like got on a train and left.
Man,
it was a weird night.
Fucking crazy, dude. I've heard horror stories on fucking tours before, but not when you're basically trying to just take a goddamn nap and you're worried about fucking a swinger couple trying to grab your dick in the middle of the night. Like that's fucking. I'd be scared as shit. I'm like, oh, please don't touch me. Like, I just want to go play my show tomorrow and go to bed. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's not that hard. But there's so many people out there. So yeah, I guess I mean, on the retrospective things, there's a lot of great people that like support you, and then there's also those fucking creepy people. So just, if you're an underground band trying to tour, just watch the fuck out, dude. Just watch the fuck out. That's wild.
And knock on wood, that whole tour, nobody broke into the van, nobody stole the catalytic converter. Like, we were totally safe and taken care of and responsible that whole time. And I think we actually came home in the black on that tour because we weren't getting hotels so frequently.
Oh, good.
We've done tours since then. Actually, the last tour that we really got to do, we started in Toronto. We did like Blackout Fest. We played a couple shows with Trash Boat. And we did a run with a band from North Carolina that went like through the Midwest, back up through like Edmonton and shit, and then we went down the West Coast, and then we drove pretty much. I mean, we did 2 shows in Texas, and then we drove straight to like Atlanta, and then did like 2 or 3 shows like Atlanta and the Carolinas, and then we had to deadhead it home from South Carolina.
What's your
and
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, that was just like, I think we got a hotel like every other night on that tour, and like by the end of it, it was just like, we're not making money. We had a bunch of van repairs that had, or not even the van, the trailer had to get repaired a bunch on that tour. And so it was just like, financially, it was a fucking wreck. But, you know, we got to kind of compare the two of them in a year of doing these 2 American tours of like, you know, if we're willing to sacrifice some human decency and like throw ourselves out like that, we're going to be able to sleep and kind of survive a little bit more for free. But it's also in the same breath too, that like, getting to do that and going through everything. And when I was doing like the run with Beartooth in January of last year, anybody that put us up, I would hit up and be like, listen, if you want to come to the show, you got guest list. Like, I'm not gonna, we don't forget the people that put us up and the people that have supported us through all the years. And so it's very much like, yeah, you know what? We're trying to pay it back.
Yeah. And they do. Like for instance, Kyle, the manager from the Sharks, the tour manager, dude, he made all of my logos. Like, he made all this.
Yeah.
And I was like, how much do I owe you? He's like, dude, I was bored. I was like, what? What do you mean? Like, I fucking love you, dude.
I do love LimeWire, so I'm in here for that.
People are starting to compare that on TikTok. They're like, oh, is this intentional to be LimeWire? But when I initially first saw this, like, the name was there, but I had a different logo. It looked like shit. And then Kyle made this. I was like, this kind of looks like LimeWire. I like it. It's a subliminal fucking marketing thing. It's the first thing you think of. So,
but it works. It works in the way of like, you know, you are doing underground music, and that's how people used to get underground music. So it just kind of seamlessly like,
right. Like someone said, oh, dude, you totally ripped off the LimeWire or the LimeWire the logo. I'm like, yeah, but instead of stealing music, I'm promoting music. So shut the fuck up.
Hey.
Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Anybody who gives you shit for owning that, being like, well, if you use that, you clearly didn't support it like I do.
Right, exactly, motherfucker. I don't really go off on people on TikTok because they're anonymous and they do it on purpose because they're fucking there's evil people out there. Oh, what's more on your experience, what do you think of touring within Canada and US? Is it completely different, or is it relatively the same when doing runs like that?
It is so different. At least my perspective. Brad, you can kind of speak to this if you think so as well. But touring up here, like, cities are so few and far between that like we don't get to do things when we tour Canada. It's very much like drive from wherever we stay to the venue, load in, sound check, stand around for 3 or 4 hours, play a set, and then drive to the next city or the next wherever. Like, we don't get to hang around and do things. Whereas like when we're touring the States, like, you know, shows are only 4 hours away from each other in some parts. And we got to go and see like Times Square at 3 a.m. because I think our drive the next day was only 2.5 hours. Versus like, hey, we're playing Edmonton tonight. We got to be in Vancouver for 4 p.m. tomorrow. That's a 9-hour drive minimum. Like, we have to leave at 5 a.m. So it's a lot easier to tour the States. But that also being said, Western Canada goes so fucking hard for any band that's willing to come through and play shows here. We've been coast to coast, north to south. We've been to Europe. Nothing goes off like a show in Edmonton or in Vancouver or in Calgary. Like, places out here are so, I almost call it starved for shows because they don't get them so much. So when they do come,
Right.
It's insane.
Right, like Dewey Halpris. He owns the Pier, or he's peer pleasure podcast on Equal Vision. He said
Yeah.
Alaska has fucking banging shows because nobody fucking goes there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's what I was gonna ask you. I was like, I wonder if that's because it's like kind of like near Alaska and it's like really hard to fucking get there. So that's sick.
Well, and I mean, from us east until you hit almost like the Toronto area, there's not a whole lot of major cities to go through and play. So your option, if you're gonna come up this way, it's like you do Seattle, you do Vancouver, you do Edmonton, you do Calgary, and then you go to Portland or some shit like that, and then have to almost do the circle. And there's no money in that. The drives are shit. The places to stay are shit. Like it's hard to get people up here. And if you do come up here, you might get one of the cities. Like when we used to get Warped Tour, I think the last time we had Warped Tour in Edmonton was like 2010.
Oh wow. Yeah, but like they always stop somewhere in Canada, right?
For us, like
Toronto.
Toronto and Vancouver, like coast to coast, and that was
major
it.
cities. Yep.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And when I mean, like if anybody gets a chance to look at a map and see how far north Edmonton truly is, it's fucked. Like we are the most northern city in North America with over 1 million people.
Wow. Okay.
And I think it's like if you saw a line, and I might be wrong on this, somebody tried to correct me and I was pretty drunk and I don't remember it. But if you draw a line around the globe from Edmonton, you line up with Siberia, Russia.
Oh, I heard touring in Russia's a fucking bitch.
Yeah, but like we are in the middle of butt fuck nowhere.
And just like Russia, I had Totally Wild on from Wild Ways. He said, dude, touring over in fucking Russia, oh, forget about it. It's just long drives to fucking somewhat big cities. Well, yeah, because now that I think about it, it's like Philly, New York, Baltimore, Jersey. That's all right there in this like collective circle. So it's like, you know,
because you're Jersey, right?
Yeah, technically Philly. I'm Philly, but
you are, dude. I was in Philly for like 3 weeks.
I know, it's so annoying because like I could have fucking hung out with you on one of my days.
Yeah.
off. What were you doing there? Or you can't say?
That's where the wife lived. So literally, like I flew into Philly. When we met her, she was living in Lancaster, and so like
no shit. Okay.
Yeah, we played the Lizard Lounge, so Chameleon Club.
Rest in peace to a great.
Yeah, we played to 4 people. I understand why it went under.
Yeah, Chameleon Club has the Lizard Lounge never really played.
No.
That many fucking they never played that many shows, and like there wasn't a lot of people that came to the Lizard Lounge. But when the Chameleon Club had a big show, it used to hit. But,
yeah. Well, so we got married at Fan and Power in Lancaster.
Oh, I know exactly where that is. That's awesome.
Right?
Lancaster's gorgeous, dude. How'd you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it? Lancaster?
Always.
Yeah.
Such a good time.
Great. Yeah, downtown. Launched music conference hosted by CI Records.
Well, I mean, what? Fucking Lyman went out and did some speeches there, did he not?
Who?
Kevin Lyman?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was there. Poeta played launch 2018, 2019, but Kevin Lyman was there. Yeah, that's and God bless her. Talinda Bennington was there to talk about Chester's death. She had this like big emotional fucking video that she showed. I was like, oh my god, like I just didn't expect her to fucking like really, you know, bring out the deep cut information about everything. So I was like, wow, that's crazy. But yeah, Lancaster's gorgeous. Yeah, dude, fucking tour. I think touring in Philadelphia or just touring in the United States in general is definitely a very beneficial thing for any band, because a lot of the European bands that I talk to, or like a lot of like the Eastern Hemisphere bands that I talk to, they want to come to the States so badly, like Australia, UK. I think there's only so much you can do over there, considering the fact that I think the US just has a massive market for any kind of tier of artist in itself. So I'm not surprised that you said you like the US, but I just didn't know, so I was very curious.
Well, I mean, like, I'm literally just going back to this. Like, we played some weird fucking cities on this run, like Orangevale, California, Tulare, California, fucking Ringgold, Georgia. Actually, fuck that. I take that one back. I'm not happy we played Ringgold, Georgia. I got taken into a kitchen by the promoter and the venue owner, and we're like, we can't pay you, leave.
That's fucking sketchy. Jesus Christ.
After the show, and anybody who ate food at the venue got food poisoning. And there was a motherfucking tornado that night. Like, not far from the venue. Like, we were standing outside. The sky was black at like 3 p.m. Like, it was terrifying.
No, thank you.
Yeah. So we played that show. So take that one back. the fuck was it? Oh, we played. It was St. or was it Louisville that threw our merch out, Brad?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. I never thought I would be in Rhode Island, but we played a show in Providence, and I think that was the funniest night of my life.
Why is that?
For so the show that we played, it was at a bar called Alchemy. Super dope bar. Like the room was incredible, but between acts, they did stand-up comedians. Yeah, it just clued in with Brad. This is fucking hilarious.
There it is.
The band, so I think it was like an acoustic artist opened, comedian. This band that we watched load in out of like, it was definitely their mom's Mazda kind of thing. Like it had like the bumper stickers and shit.
Yeah.
But I was crying laughing because it was Black Veil Brides on a budget. Like old school pens and knives, like the torn jeans, the denim vests, the fucking shotgun blast hair. And then they go into the bathroom and they're putting on the blackout stage makeup and shit, like as soon as they get loaded in. And I'm fucking howling like, oh my God, we just saw Black Veil Brides load out of their mom's fucking Mazda. Like I was losing it. Our group chat. So like every show, Luke would go on Instagram, post a story, and be like, "What's up? It's your boys. We're doing a show here, whatever." And for some reason, we're all sitting in the van that day, and he goes, "What's up? It's your fellas. We're doing a show." And our group chat has been called the Bufellas ever since he posted that. Bufellas. That's fellas with a B at the start. But so we're doing that. Everything's chill. Nobody comes to this fucking show. It's like a Tuesday night. Like it's a garbage show. Yeah. We had a guarantee. We got paid. We got our drink tickets. Everything was fucking great. And like, it was fun. But this ties back to something we were talking about before. There's a woman sitting at the bar and there's this stand-up comedian on it. And I go up and I'm like, can I just get a fucking beer? Like I give him my drink ticket. And this is after I've had issues at bars. Brad can actually attest to this. Orlando did not treat us well, the venue that we played.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
We'll circle back to those Florida shows in a second. Because when we talk about America States, I've toured 49 of them, but Florida and me do not get along. But so I'm sitting at the bar and like there's this woman next to me, whatever. And like the comedian makes some horrible joke and like in sync, we're both just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, could not believe it. And I just like look over and I'm like, so you hate this too? She's like, yeah, I just really like supporting this bar. And so we go and we get a table and we're sitting and we're talking and everything's like really chill. And then she goes, oh, I got to go to the bathroom or the washroom or whatever the fuck y'all call it, restroom. I got called out a bunch for calling it a washroom when I was down there. So I get self-conscious.
That definitely doesn't sound relatable to the United States for sure.
Yeah. But so we're literally just like hanging out in a back corner, watching these comedians, these bands. And like, again, we're watching budget Black Veil Brides. Band makes a joke. Nobody fucking laughs. But so she's like, I got to go to the restroom and stands up and like hand directly on my crotch as she's standing up. And I'm just like, did not expect this, whatever. And I take a second to like compose myself. And then she walks into the guy's washroom. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, I think that's your sign.
I'm really glad this venue's like progressive and like, you know, a bathroom's a bathroom. We're good. Comes back, we're sitting, and then I'm sitting there and I'm just like, her Adam's apple's bigger than mine is. Like it just like slowly starts to click. And then eventually it's like, she's like, yeah, I'm trans. And like totally blew my fucking mind. Like I had zero ideas when I met her and we're sitting and having conversations and all of this. We follow each other on Instagram now. She's doing great. She's a phenomenal fucking hairdresser.
Oh,
but it was just like, it blew my mind. And then I was like, weeks later, or it might have been later that night or whatever. I drink a lot on the road. But things kind of
on the road.
We're gonna put these out of frame now. But like it kind of clicks. I'm like, wait, she grabbed my dick. Was she interested?
Yes.
And then it was like more so. I'm like, am I attractive to like trans people? Am I attracted to like the whole cycle started going? I'm like, do guys think I'm hot? Do girls think I'm hot? Like I couldn't figure it out for the longest time. And then I realized that I just think I'm hot and that's it.
That's
nobody else can, but I do.
Well, if a girl touched my dick and she went to the men's bathroom, like regardless, I'm like, that's a sign. I should go in there and help her and see if she's fucking hell. You know what I mean? Like
again, very honest and loyal man when I was on tour, but it was
that's
one of those
right.
moments
God,
that I was just like,
damn it, I keep forgetting. Because
Yeah.
I'm the fucking single one over here. That's why I'm like so like fucking wound up. I'm like and then horny, and I'm like, dude, I do that in a heartbeat. Fucking come on, let's go.
But yeah, she's fucking awesome. But yeah, Providence, weird fucking show. I think Tim got hit in the fucking face with the hoop from his drum kit that night.
Ooh.
Does that sound right, Brad?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the night that we tried to play fucking like hoop ring toss on a fucking drummer?
Oh yeah.
Nick, you should start a podcast, dude. You have like a really creative fucking like mindset for this.
Man, we've gone over this. I think I finally changed it. My Instagram name for the longest time and my Twitter name was just Hard Drive.
Hard drive.
Hard drive.
I remember things and details, and I like to just do weird shit. But I don't do a whole lot myself. I just like telling stories about my friends.
Yeah, but that's all you need, bro. Like, and not only that, dude. Like, it's good conversation. Like, I don't know. I trust me. I've had I think over 60 something guests on here, and dude, you're just very well spoken, and you're just like ready to fucking chill. Like, I could fucking do this all day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
anytime, bud.
Yeah.
you realize like next time I wind up just drinking and sitting at a webcam, I'm just calling you. Like, we're just gonna hang out and fucking
absolutely, dude. Yeah, I'll fucking FaceTime. I'll make sure I can get a drink in my hand before we start fucking doing that. You know
we'll do fucking Limelight after hours.
Yes. Well, oh no, dude. Let's have you come back on for Drink It or Leave It.
Mm-hmm.
We do a segment where
fucking gladly.
Yeah.
I was listening to you guys when I was driving down. So I can't fly out of Edmonton to go fucking anywhere. I have to go to Calgary to fly out. Okay. So it's a 3-hour drive, and my mom was driving me. And like, bless my mom's heart, but the woman only listens to country music.
God, fucking bless your soul, dude. Ugh.
Hey, I fuck with country hard. Don't get me wrong. Morgan Whalen, like fucking Luke Combs. I look like Luke Combs. I get it. It's fine.
Oh, you kind of do.
Dude, I'm a mix of Luke Combs and Mac Miller. I don't know how the fuck it happened, but here I am. Like, we're going with it.
That's so true, dude. What the fuck? I see it now. Wow.
But yeah, I fucking like as soon as we leave city limits and her radio dies, she just turns it off.
Okay.
And so I was just like headphones in and I'm listening. I did the first Drink It or Leave It again. And holy fuck, I'm like, yes, I would so be down for that.
Yes.
Because all I am drinking right now is craft beer.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
So we just got to figure out how to do like cross border.
But I ship the beer to you guys. So I'm doing that. Oh, let's fucking get Randy. I'll call Randy. We'll do it one with Randy. Because he wants to do it.
All the boys.
Spoiler alert. If anybody wants to like know who's gonna be coming on the fucking podcast next with Drink or Leave It, it's Matt from Slaves, Rory from Dayseeker, and Mikey from Savage Hands. It's like a post-hardcore fucking powerhouse.
I heard Slaves and Dayseeker, and I'm like, I'm fucking listening.
Yeah, dude, Rory's so fucking nice, bro. And we're gonna drink the ABR fucking brew from Leveler.
Oh fuck yeah.
Dude, for some reason you can only like get that in Pennsylvania, which was super fucking weird. And I can only buy 6 of them. And
like she drove to Jersey to buy the Stone Cold beer, and I got called a communist for being Canadian. Like he's like, you're fucking commie boyfriend. I'm like, man.
Oh my god, dude.
Like,
white people in this country fucking suck. Literally, white people in this country are fucking garbage, dude. I'm telling you that. Coming from a white person.
Like you're probably right, but like I mean, I
probably am a communist, but the fucking song starts playing in the background.
I don't vote normally because I'm not here when the election shit's going on with the amount that I'm on the road, so I'm just like, I also like I'm still registered at my parents' place, which is a different fucking like district to vote.
Oh, interesting.
And so I'm like, there's no reason for me to go vote because it doesn't affect me.
No.
I'll do like provincial and national shit, but like the local shit, no.
No, I don't really get involved with local shit either. But when we did tour Canada, when Trump and Hillary were running at the time, oh my god, dude! Like every single person. Oh, you're from America? Oh, what do you think? What do you think about the presidency? What do you think about who do you think is gonna win? I'm like, and I didn't really like talk about it because I hate talking politics. But then there was a couple other people that were like, you guys are fucked. Trump's gonna be your president. And like, I wasn't fucking wrong. So...
Dude, we've had some weird political run-ins on tour. Brad, I don't know if you remember. I think it was the second or third show when we were in England. Was the Brexit election.
Oh my god!
So we literally
shit show.
Where we were playing a joint called Sticky Mike's Frog Bar. It was
Love
such
the
a
name.
fucking dope. It was such a dope venue. Like it was awesome. But
I would
across
hope
the
so.
street from us, Code Orange was playing their only European date that
Ooh.
year. And so
Ooh.
like there's a line of fucking kids there, and people were getting turned away from the show because they were over cap. So they sent them to the bar across the street where we were.
Hmm.
They didn't come downstairs and watch us play. They just sat upstairs and drank. But we were all like, everybody was glued to the TV. I think we played like 5 songs. Our vocalist that we had on that tour was our previous vocalist, and he had let us know beforehand that he was leaving the band, so he just didn't care. So we were like, oh, we'll play a few songs. There's no, like, literally, we had the sound guy, and that was it. So we're like, we'll play a couple and like get warmed up, I guess, and call it. But then we went upstairs, and everybody was we're either drinking to celebrate or we're drinking to mourn, and so everybody got plastered that night. And then I'm gonna run to the washroom right away. But Brad, do you want to tell them about the place in Atlanta that we stayed? The basement was decorated a very certain way.
The basement.
Is
We
that
got
more like
we got
sex
given
dungeon shit? You know what I'm
no.
saying?
We got given Popeye sandwiches.
Popeye
It was
sandwich.
it was at M's place when she was living with her dad.
Oh yeah.
You can go ahead and tell that story. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was cool. Like we had met I think we met M through through Tinder again.
Right.
But
Yeah.
she was a photographer, and she was like, "Yo, you guys want some pictures? Like, I can come to the show tonight." And we're like, "Hell yeah! We'll guest pass you." And we played the show, and then she offered to let us stay with her at her parents' house. But she was like, I gotta warn you, my dad's a Trump supporter, and we're like, okay, like, is this gonna be a problem? Like, are we? Is everything cool? And she's like, "No, yeah, that's good. I'm just letting you know." And we get to their house, and they have like a beautiful, like, huge ass house, and and we and she has it set up in the basement, and we get down there, and it's just like, yeah, he's a Trump supporter, and it's very obvious. And so we were like, okay, we're gonna try really hard not to talk politics and just be polite Canadians and do our thing. And yeah, and he bought us Popeyes or chicken burgers, and yeah. Other than that, it was great. Wait, wasn't that the one where we, dude, wasn't that the time when we brought in our foamies to sleep on, and we just like lined them on the stairs going to the basement, and we were all doing like water slides down the stairs on the foamies to the basement?
Yeah, dude, we're a bunch of sweet human beings, and like
Oh, I
we
totally
do some
believe that.
wild shit, but we're also all like 12 years old at heart,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
so we
you
just
have
go and do
to.
weird shit.
Fuck yeah, dude.
We
You
were
have
on
to. You have to have fun with it.
like, again, this is kind of circling back to Florida. Like I said, we don't get along, but we were touring with a band called Felicity from down there. They're fucking awesome, and they actually bought us tickets to Universal Studios while we were down there. So we had like a day. We were playing Orlando, so we were already in town for the day, and they're like, "Yeah, let's just go hang out at Universal." And I have not seen dudes in their 20s and 30s act more like children than we did that day. It was so much fucking fun.
Universal's sick though. Like it's way better than Disney.
Oh
Way
yeah.
better than
Oh
Disney.
yeah.
And fucking like Harry Potter world, like not even a fan of it at all. Like don't give a shit about the series or the movies or whatever, but I want to go there to fucking hang out. Like that place looks
Oh, it's
sick.
awesome.
It was super cool.
I've never been there, but I'd rather go to Star Wars Land and all that shit. Well,
Oh, so down, so
Orlando-
fucking down.
And Florida has a good
Hold on.
fucking no, you're fine. Florida has a good fucking scene too, so I'm surprised like Orlando treated you like shit. It's fucking annoying. Like I've
Okay,
seen
no,
scene
this-
in like Tampa.
The scene treated us fucking amazing. Those shows were incredible.
Oh,
Put us up.
okay.
But so we're playing again. This is 2 nights back to back. I think it's Orlando and Gainesville. So it would have been Jacksonville that Tim got his bill, just to fix that from before. But so we play Orlando, and like we get in, and like again, we're all fucking sunstroked. We've been walking out in the sun at Universal. You know that very cute couple photo that like the girl will take, where it's like her leading the boyfriend.
Yes, exactly. With the hand, they're
me-
holding hands. Like, come on.
Me and Brad did that photo at Universal.
You guys are cute as shit.
Hey, we've got matching tattoos. This is like we don't live together, but this is my husband. Is more or less the way that
Basically.
we've known each other
Basically.
long enough. I think we're stuck with each other. But so we're sunstroked. We're fucking beat. And the venue we had to load directly onto the stage off the back door. So there's no staging area. There's nowhere to keep gear. And whatever band was up next had to like stand outside with their gear on the street until the show, like the set was done. So it was like kind of uncomfortable, and like
It
we
is
could only fit
uncomfortable.
two vans and trailers in front of the venue. So some people are around the corner, and a whole bunch of shit goes on. I think it was like Brigades played first, then we played, then Felicity was headlining. It was their hometown. So obviously we're gonna fucking prank them in their hometown. Like there's no fucking question about it. So I think we finish our set, we're loading our gear out, Felicity's getting set up, and Darren from Brigades comes out and he's got a whole like industrial sized roll of toilet paper from the bathroom. Like he literally like opened the dispenser up, took it, came outside. And like beforehand things were kind of weird. Brad and I are both right-handed. We go in and we're like, obviously you don't as a drummer, but like if we get fucking wristbands on our right hands, like it'll catch a bridge or like it's just not comfortable.
Okay.
Every other show that tour, like our tour laminate sufficed, or if we asked, they'd put it on our left hand, being like, yeah, like we get it. This bar, 0% chance. They wouldn't let us in without it on our right hand. So I'm like, man, it's coming off when I play. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm taking it fucking off.
It's just a fucking wristband. My God.
Yeah. To be fair, we were like 2 blocks away from Pulse nightclub.
Okay.
And so like tensions were like a little high with everything around there.
Okay, I take that back. Yeah, no, that
like
makes sense.
I totally like in retrospect understand.
Yeah.
But nobody explained this to me until like a week later.
Oh,
so I was like,
that's fucked up. Yeah.
I'm fucking hot and angry about shit, and I'm a tiny little Irish dude, man. I am an angry fucking leprechaun.
I want to play my goddamn show. Let's go.
But so they let me in, like whatever else. Brad, what happened to you when you tried to get in there?
I was like, can I have it on my left hand? And they were just like, no, right hand only. I'm like, well, I play guitar and it's gonna catch on my strings and shit. Like, I need it on my left hand. And they were like, no, that's not cool. I'm like, okay, well, I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I won't do it. And she's like, fine. How about I put some X's on your hands instead? So I'm like, okay, sure, that works. So she draws 2 big X's on my hands. We load in the gear, and like an hour later, I go up to the bar to get a beer. Yeah. And the bartender's like, no, I'm not serving you. And I was like, what? Why? And she's like, because you're underage. And I'm like, lady, I'm the oldest guy on this fucking tour. What are you talking about?
Brad's like 32 at this point. Like, it's not like he's like fucking squishing the line.
And they're like, well, you got X's on your hands. That means you're underage. So I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Apparently, like you got to talk to your staff. Like, you guys are just rude.
Yes.
And so I'm like,
wouldn't, same bar wouldn't serve me because I was paying in drink tickets and it meant I wasn't tipping. And it was so funny. So I'm literally like at the bar for like 15 minutes and she's serving everybody around me. And I'm just sitting there like, come on.
Just because you have a drink ticket doesn't mean you're going to tip though. Like, why are you assuming that? You know what I mean?
But some random dude, no fucking idea who this guy is. And it's like a fucking ghost in the wind, comes up, grabs my ass. And I'm like, I'm thinking it's one of the guys from the package or whatever. I'm like, very funny. Turn around. He's like, oh my fucking God, I thought you were somebody else. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, it's all good. Like, no big deal. Yeah. Whatever. And he's like, here, let me buy you a beer. I was like, you don't have to pay for it. Just get me 2. And I give him my drink tickets. So he leans up to the bar. He buys his and gets me 2. And then like, I saw the eye roll from the bartender when I grabbed those 2 and he paid with tickets. Like, she was like, oh, like whatever. So it's already off to a bad start. We play the set, whatever. We get our gear out. We go in to throw like TP around the stage and there's silly string and like we're fucking around with Felicity. Like it's their hometown show. They obviously knew something was going on. They don't give a fuck, whatever. We head back out afterwards and I'm like, okay, let's go back in and like pack everything up. I go back in after we've done this and I get horse collared by security of like, nope, your wristband's off. You're not fucking allowed back in here.
Holy
shit. Not only am I a short, Irish, angry dude, at this point, I am hammered. So I'm fucking just like a child screaming at a dude's kneecaps kind of thing. And he stands up, and this is like a 300-pound ex-Hells Angels biker running security. And so Darren and Jacob from Brigades like grab me and like, we'll go somewhere else. And I think I wound up at a different bar down the street. And like, we had a good time and everything was great and whatever else. The next night, we're in Gainesville, and it's the same thing. We get loaded in, everything's good, get our drink tickets, and I go up to the bar, and I'm like, hey, can I grab a beer? And the bartender's like, well, let's see some ID. Like, this wasn't a wristband deal, whatever, they were chill. I give him my ID, he's like, I can't serve you. And I'm like, dude, I'm 26.
Right.
I'm 25. Like, I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I need government ID. And I'm like, it is government ID. And he's like, no, it's not my government. So because I didn't have Florida issued ID, I gave him a passport and a driver's license. I wasn't allowed to drink at the bar we were playing. I went around the entire block in a college town trying to find a place that would serve me. And I walked into some place and I just like put my passport down. I'm like, can I have a fucking beer, please? And the guy's like, I'm not supposed to. I'm like, I'm 25. I'm playing a show next door. Like, and he's like, all right, I got you. And then he caught my beer. So like the dude was nice enough for it. But I was just like, 2 shows back to back, I'm told I'm not allowed to drink at. Like, what the fuck, Florida?
Yeah, and you prefer the United States touring over the Canadian touring. So,
well, I mean, okay, the first time we went down, we used to go to Warped Tour and just drive to Seattle and do Portland. The first time we went, I was 20. So I've been legal drinking in Alberta for 2 years, and then I didn't think about it. And Brad and our old vocalist walk into the fucking beer gardens, and I get stopped, and I'm like, "That's right." It happened to Luke when we went down and played Warped Tour in 2015. We stopped at a dispensary as soon as we crossed the border. First dispensary we saw. I don't smoke, but I was like, I still got to see what a legal dispensary looks like. Like, this is dope.
Yeah, this is dope. Yeah.
So we walk in and we're hanging around. And next thing we know, Let Live walks into the same fucking dispensary.
Oh.
And so we're all just like, yo, are you Lionel Richardson? He's like, yeah. And we're like
Yeah,
talking and chatting, everything's sick. Luke, who is our resident pot king, I don't know how else to put it now. The dude likes the green. Yeah, he's a SoundCloud rapper. That's the way I'm gonna describe one of my best friends. But he's 20 at the time, so he can't come in. So he's literally just like sitting in the car by himself, like waiting for us. We come back out all like, hey, we just met Let Live, and he's like, fuck you guys. So what goes around all around.
Face. He does have a baby face too, so like it's gonna be really hard for him to fucking get anywhere with that. Like, I don't care if he's fucking 29, 30 years old. It's still gonna be hard for him to get fucking pot or
dude. He's 26. Like,
yeah, dude's got a baby face.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's gonna do.
There's been a long time that everybody thinks I'm older than Brad is.
It's probably the beard. They say I mean the beard definitely kind of
probably
like
the
ages.
beard.
Yeah, the beard kind of like ages you a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know
it's-
about this mustache.
I still laugh about it. I am as old now as Brad was when we met.
What?
I'm 20. I'm 27.
How long ago was that?
7 years ago,
Oh,
almost
shit.
8.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Damn, you guys have been boys
Yeah.
forever. Fuck.
Man, dude, the amount that I know about Brad, and Brad could put me in the fucking ground if he wanted to. Let's be real here. He knows some shit.
Some deep shit, dude. Deep cuts, man. That's awesome. Dude, fucking, I'm so excited for this album to come out. I know it's gonna take some time, but I mean, that's not your fault. The pandemic definitely fucking put everything back.
I will say it's gonna be sooner than anybody thinks. That's the big
yeah,
upside.
because it's not a date, but I think it's just, I think all parties are excited for the actual release. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's basically what it's coming down to, and it's super tight. And Equal Vision looks like and sounds like they're taking care of you just as much as they are with their other bands. So, fucking props to them, dude. Especially in the pandemic. God damn it, dude. Fuck.
Yeah.
We're almost there, dude. I swear to God, I feel like we're almost there. Just getting done because I'm vaccinated. I'm ready to fucking do this in person. I'm ready. Come on, like, let's go. Tours are being fucking booked and shit.
Yep.
And before you guys go on tour, you're gonna have to come back for Drink It or Leave It. We'll have you, we'll have Randy, and then we have to have one more like prominent pop punk band. I don't know who, but we'll find them.
We'll keep it Canadian. We'll grab somebody else from the Great White North and make it happen.
Bro, I tried to get Alan Day on. Alan, come on the podcast,
I love Alan.
dude.
Yeah.
We emailed and like he just like MIA'd. I'm like, damn it, I was so close. Because he's recording midfield. Oh, before we head out of here, so who do you think, in your opinion, from the underground scene is gonna be the next like upcoming band? I'm curious.
I need some definitions on thing. What do you define as underground? Like, do we still count as underground?
I mean, you're signed to a pretty major label, so not technically no, right?
Okay. So smaller than we are.
Unsigned.
Unsigned.
Damn. Okay, unsigned. I'm trying to think, going through who I listen to. God damn. Brad, you got anybody on mind?
I don't know. All of the bands that I would think of like just got signed. So
Yeah,
So-
right? Like,
Well, then say them then, because I mean, like that's still on the ground in the sense they just got signed, but whatever.
wait, there must be one. Wait.
I mean, we played a show like 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, with a band called Certainty from Ontario. And I think that CD is one of the top spun CDs that we've had in the van. To the point that I'm sick of this band now, and I don't know if they still exist, but like they were fucking awesome. We just played them into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
We did the same thing. Tim and Brad broke our Brigade's cassette because they just kept replaying it over and over and over.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Like, I think Macari's unsigned now, and that might be one of the best bands we've ever played with.
I'll have to check them out. Yeah,
Is Macari unsigned?
I think they finished their Invoke deal. I think they're out, so I think they're
Oh.
unsigned now. I've talked about them before. Settle Your Scores are one of my favorite bands.
I'm so glad they got signed, dude. They were super
Right?
underrated for so long, and they're still technically
Yeah.
underrated.
No. Well, I mean, when they were doing everything with Sharptone, I think because like they had that preconceived easycore vibe, a lot of like the major push wasn't on them because like easycore is such an underground sound. Like nobody wants to be easycore. We changed our sound to get away from it because like our second EP was very easy and like we did not want that. We just like that's what we wrote at the time. We're like we can grow past this and we can grow bigger and mature a little bit.
Right.
And I mean, you've got bands like Chunk No Captain Chunk that are perfect for it. They're gonna keep doing their shit. That's fucking awesome. Like Bitter is incredible. Their new songs are awesome, but it's not who we are.
Right. Exactly. And it's weird. Like easycore was just there was a massive spike around when Chunk released Pardon My French. I think that was like basically when it was at its hypest. Because when Abandoned by Bears came from Sweden, they're also fucking hype. And Headstorm's a great album. But like they're doing the same thing that Chunk is. They're MIA. But with the sound evolving, yeah. No, I love the sound Calling All Captains is coming out with. But yeah, I guess I can see like easycore. I mean, dude, Meet Me at the Altar, very easycore. What the fuck?
Yeah.
They're incredible,
Yeah.
bro. They're touring with Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah.
They're killing it.
What they go from an all-time
Crazy.
low tour to a Coheed tour. Like it makes no sense, but sure.
It doesn't make sense, but I'm fucking stoked for them. It's just like it's good to see that kind of style of music being out there and shit. But
What I think like I'm gonna throw out some of the homies. Cloaker from BC are a fucking underrated and unreal band. In Case We Crash, buddies of ours from Toronto, they've been fucking working their asses off to get some shit out, and their newest music video is fucking hilarious. It's them as like little knitted dolls
no shit.
with superimposed mouths for the singing. It's fucking awesome. It's such a well done video. Chiliocosm, buddies of ours from like 3 hours south in Calgary. They just recorded with Quinn Sorenkowitz as well, and their new music sounds fucking dope.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
And then like I'm really excited to see what Youth Fountain does now that Cody has announced that he is with Real Friends and Tyler has full control in Youth Fountain. Like I think that's gonna be an incredible time. Obviously, our boys in Chief State, love those guys to no end.
Incredible. Did you know? Did you know my very first TikTok I ever made, Chief State was on it?
Really?
My very first one. If you scroll all the way fucking down, dude, it was Meet Me at the Altar, Chief State, and somebody else. Yeah, dude, I think they're super underrated, and I think they're one of my favorite. No, they're signed, aren't they?
Yeah, Mutant League.
Yeah, Mutant League. Okay, so the whole Belmont thing and whatever. So, yeah, dude, I'm telling you, this band, What Makes Sense, this new single they're about to release, I'm telling you, it's gonna be fucking kick ass. I'm gonna show you when we get off the podcast in a little bit. But dude, I appreciate you guys taking the time. Nick, we're definitely gonna do a second round of this. We're gonna get some fucking beers, some IPAs, and we're just gonna get drunk and fucking talk shit.
Always. That's what I do best.
You're really fucking good at it, dude. And that $50 microphone from Amazon is really making you sound great. So,
oh man, dude, like I said, when I was streaming on Twitch, I was doing pretty much the same thing. I would just interview industry people and whatever. I had like Shane Toll from Silverstein, I had Tyler from Youth Fountain.
oh my god, that's sick.
I just started like hitting up homies, like people we've done shows with, people we've worked with,
Right.
whatever else. Like, you know, a lot of people were very into it, which was dope. But obviously then I'm like sitting there and I'm like, fuck, I got Shane Told coming. I gotta do this right.
Right.
So I bought like a stream deck. I got everything like figured the fuck out. Same setup as you when you were talking about like this dual monitor thing. Like, I'm rolling
100%.
for it because like you don't do anything half-ass. If you've learned anything about captains, you've learned anything about me, is like you're full ass or you're no ass.
Bro,
you're either Nick or you're Luke is where the measurement is.
Oh, Luke's the no ass.
He's got no ass.
He's got no
And
ass in the baby face.
Your boy Thickless over here, he be packing.
He the thickless.